Once upon a time, there lived two good friends, Ayo and Kwame. They both grew up in poor families. They were very close and always dreamt of becoming rich. One day I will have big houses and cars and beautiful women, Kwame said. That is what I want to, Ayo said. We cannot continue like this. When we grow up, we will become richer than our parents and take care of our parents. However, as they grew up, their dreams did not come true. Ayo became a carpenter. He had been a carpenter for some time. But Kwame was not able to keep one job. He started by being a farmer, then a fisherman, and then a hunter. Each time he would quit. The money is not enough, he said. These are mere small jobs. I need something big. He was never content with what he had. He wanted more. He wanted more money. And he told Ayo this. Ayo told him to manage, at least with this carpentry work, I'm able to take care of my family. With time, our story will change, Ayo told him. But Kwame did not agree to this. If we do not do anything, we may end up dying poor, Kwame said. Now one day, Kwame told Ayo that he was going to his maternal village. His grandmother was sick and all family members were going to stay with her. It may be her last time with them because she was a very old woman. So Ayo bid him farewell and Kwame left. Now, after a few months, Kwame came back. He then started a cosmetic business. He started selling body cream, body lotion for women. Why will you enter this type of business? Ayo told him. What type of body cream do you know that women use? Kwame laughed. He said, my story is about to change. Watch and see. I'm going to get many customers and they're going to rush my goods. Ayo laughed. You're a man. What do you know about women products? But Kwame began to have more and more customers. Everyone was talking about his amazing cream. If you used it on your face will become brighter. The wrinkles will disappear, your spots will disappear, and any sagging on your face would also disappear. It was a magic cream, and everybody rushed his face cream. That was the one that was doing wonders. At this point, Kwame began to make so much money. After a few months, he became one of the richest men in his kingdom. This was so amazing to Ayo. Look at his friend of yesterday. Now, even the queen had sent for him because she wanted to see this magic cream he was selling. Can you see it? Ayo's wife said. Look at Kwame. Now he has a big house, moving with rich people in our kingdom, and you're still here. Go and meet him tomorrow and ask him, beg him to make you part of his business. Ayo began to ponder on what his wife said during the night. Yes, he will go to Kwame and ask him what he was truly doing. How can he be part of this business? When he started it, Ayo was laughing at him. But look at it now, he has made so much money. Bought two houses now. I have to ask him, he's my friend, he will tell me. He will make me part of his business. So the next day, as Ayo was leaving to Kwame's house, his wife was sending his son out. His son was to go to the market to buy some foodstuff for that day. Now, when Ayo got to Kwame's house, Kwame let him come in. And he told Kwame what he wanted, and his friend laughed. But I told you, in the beginning you were laughing at me. See it now. These creams, they don't last more than a day. We have to keep making them because it's in demand. Even the queen has ordered the last stock we have. But Kwame, how did you start this thing? Tell me, tell me, how do you make it? Kwame laughed. Don't worry, I will show you. Are you ready to be rich? Yes, Ayo said. Are you ready to be rich? His friend asked him. He said, yes, I am. Tell me, I'm your friend, Ayo said. Now, as they were speaking, a man ran in. Ayo, Ayo, where are you? Where are you? And Ayo turned and said, I'm here. What is it? Your son, something happened to your son. Your wife, everybody is at the royal station. You have to come immediately. Ah, why would they be at the station? Ayo shouted. And then he ran. When he got there, he saw many people. His wife was crying and weeping. What happened? He asked. And one of the royal guards now said, Sir, look into that bag and tell us if that is your son. Ayo was surprised. Like, what bag? What do you mean? When he went to the bag and opened it, lo and behold, he saw the head of his son, the one that was sent to the market earlier this day. The gods forbid, he shouted. What happened? Who did this? And then, that is when he saw that the royal guards were holding down a man. The man said his name is Akpan. Now, Akpan told them that his master had sent him to go and find a child. The child was to be used for ritual. So he went to the market that day and he saw Ayo's son. He called him, telling him that he needed help. And Ayo's son, being a kind boy, decided to help the man. But immediately the man got him in a secluded area, he cut off the boy's head, put the head in a bag, and began to go to his master's house. It was on the way to his master's house that people stopped him because, unknown to him, blood had begun to drip from the bag. Who is your master? Everybody shouted. Who asked you to do this abomination? And there, to everybody's shock, he said, My master is Kwame. It's a lie, Ayo shouted. Other people said, take us to Kwame's house now. Ayo was in shock. His wife was still crying on the ground. And so they all stood up and followed Akpan. Akpan took them to Kwame's house. But when they got there, Kwame was not there. And the royal girl shouted, Do not waste our time. Where is your master? And then Akpan took them underneath the house. There was a secret door, and he took them down to the basement. And there they saw 6 other men. They were pounding something. Around them were bottles. Around them were empty bottles of face cream. The people were shocked. When they moved closer, they saw that the men were pounding the heads of children. Ah! What is happening here? The raga shouted. And Akpan told them that their master Kwame used the heads of children to make the lotion that the women in the kingdom were using. Some people screamed, some people fainted. The royal guards called for backup and they packed everything and took it to the king as evidence. And there, Akpan and the other men confessed, saying that their master Kwame used some sort of black magic to change the heads of these children to cream. For a few months now, they had problems with children going missing. The royal guards had been working diligently to find out what was going on. But unbeknownst to them, it was Kwame that was doing this. When Kwame would take the heads of the children, he would bury their body in his compound. And when the royal guards went and dug up his compound, they saw many bodies of children that were headless. Now, a lot of these villagers were some of the parents who were looking for their missing children, and they began to weep and cry. No one could find Kwame anywhere. He had vanished. The king sent a decree that everyone should look for him, dead or alive. He should be killed on the spot, in or outside the kingdom. They searched, but they couldn't find him. Now, the sad part is that some of these women that use this cream, some of them, their children had been sacrificed for this. One of such women was Chinelo. Chinelo had bought the cream because her friend Nkiru had recommended it to her. At that time, her daughter had gone missing. So to cheer her up, Nkiru had bought this cream for her. Now, once the truth had been revealed, all these women had nightmares. Anytime Chinelo slept, her daughter would come, headless, and begin to cry, Mama, why? Mama, why? Mama, why? And immediately Chinelo would scream and wake up. Then she would hear the cries of children, crying and crying and crying. Chinelo was running mad. She could no longer sleep at night. Her husband would try to comfort her, but nothing was working. And this was the same with almost all the women in the kingdom. They were having nightmares. The children were crying every night. This was also happening to the queen as she had herself used the cream. So the king sent for the Ezemo and asked him what can be done. We cannot continue like this. Some of these women had begun to run mad. The Ezemo said they had to cleanse the land of this abomination. The children's spirits had to be appeased. Now to do this, the children had to be given proper burials. And everyone will go to each child and ask for forgiveness, the entire village. And so that is what they did. Now, after doing this, all the women who had used the cream had to fast from Monday to Sunday, 6 p.m. This is an act of contrition to beg for forgiveness because unknown to them, they had taken part in this abomination. And so people began to fast. The women in the kingdom who had used the cream began to fast. One of such women was Chika. Now, Chika is what we call a foodie. Chika fasted Monday, Chika fasted on Tuesday, Chika fasted on Wednesday. As instructed, Chika fasted on Thursday. Now, on Friday night, while Chika was sleeping, someone brought roasted goat meat to her in the dream, which was her favorite. She was perceiving it strongly. She wanted to eat, but someone in her dream told her, do not eat. You should not eat. Remember, you have to fast. Immediately she woke up, but the smell of the meat was still strong. And then she realized that indeed somebody was roasting goat meat. The smell was coming from her backyard. So she went towards her kitchen, towards her backyard, and there she could see that her neighbor was roasting his goat meat. Ah, no. What type of temptation is this? Chika said. Okay, she knows what she will do. She will hold herself until Sunday 6 p.m. and then she will meet her neighbor and beg him for goat meat. It was her favorite. She liked it. And they were very close. He would give her. So, Saturday, Chika managed to hold herself until Sunday. Now, Sunday, a few minutes to 6 p.m., Chika went to her neighbor's house. Ah, neighbor, what is it? He said. Please, I want some of that goat meat you roasted the other day. Ah, are you not supposed to be fasting, Chika? But it's almost 6 p.m. Okay? So just dish out some for me. Once it is 6, bam, that is when I'll start eating it. The neighbor said, okay, come inside. And Chika came in, sat down. He gave her some goat meat. He watched her as she watched her time. It was now 5:58. Chika was very happy. It was almost 6 p.m. on her time. So the neighbor told her that he was going out. He will go to his room, wear his shoe, change his dress, and come back. That Chika can go ahead and eat. So now, when the neighbor got into his room, he put on his shoes, put on his clothes, and picked up his watch. And there, on his watch, he saw that the time was 5:45 p.m. No, this cannot be correct. Chika's time is almost 6 p.m. Why is his own 15 minutes behind? Maybe something is wrong with his watch. But he was about to change it when he realized that no, his watch, his time is correct. So he ran back to the kitchen and shouted, Chika, wait! But by that time, Chika had put the goat meat in her mouth. What is it? She shouted. The man said, Chika, I don't think it's 6 p.m. yet though. Have you eaten the meat? Yes, I've eaten it. It's 6 p.m. My time says 6 p.m. Look at it. Indeed, her time says 6 p.m. But the man said, look at my time. It's still a few minutes to 6 p.m. 10 minutes for that matter. And then Chika remembered that on Wednesday, she had moved her time 15 minutes ahead because she wanted the day to go fast. The fasting was making the days long. And immediately Chika remembered that she has messed up. As this realization came to her, her body exploded. Pooah! And immediately she changed into a bottle of lotion. And this was the case with all other women who did not comply with the fasting. Their bodies exploded and they all turned into bottles of lotion. And those who complied with the fasting hours were saved. The curse, the abomination, had been removed from their body and they could live a normal life. Now, Ayo and other parents who had lost their children were all sad. They hated Kwame so much. Unfortunately, he had run away and they never got justice.